What is media? Media has become a broad term from such things as video, radio, broadcasting, journalism, and much more. However, in this video, I want to limit this term to the topics of video, photography, and the written form in hopes of simplification. Can a partnership be formed between media and evangelism? What does this even look like?
Just a simple way to look at media and evangelism and how they kind of go together would be people that are overseas, like the Luke Commission that I hooked up with. There's a lot going on over there, and a lot of their support comes from the States, but they would never know or be able to see what those things are without media going there, filming it, writing about it, etc.
Evangelism is simply to tell the good news. It literally means, euangelia is to good news the good news. And so when I think of media and evangelism, I simply think of it as a means by which the story is told.
The outreach aspect of it is one of the biggest strengths. It's like God gave us this gift. Hey, here's media, use it to reach people. And we just have to be tactful in doing it the right way. When we do it right, we can really make a difference and really outreach to people.
A lot of times ministries struggle with their print media, with their visual media. They have an incredibly compelling story to tell, but those who are the trained professionals have greater capacity to tell that story.
But what can media do evangelically?
When I pastored in New York City, I would walk through the subway tunnels, and I would see individuals who were they're trying to do two things. They were either yelling at me through a megaphone or trying to hand me these print materials. And, from a pastoral standpoint, I thought, where does this go? So I take your track, I listen to you screaming, but where does it go?
Videos, even if they're telling someone else's story, could be beneficial for those who are listening, because it could then inspire them to form relationships. So even if it doesn't empower the certain relationship that the story is written about and the person that interacted with that person, it can be an example for how other people should interact and be more of an inspirational story to get them to also be involved in showing love and evangelism through that aspect.
Even if someone's not helping physically, they can still start to think about it and process it, and maybe their worldview will start to change from privileged American to, oh, the world has problems, and possibly I can help with those problems.
Media is just a tool to do what we were meant to be doing already.
Every day is a new experience to just love someone and just invest in their lives and hear their stories.
Empowerment and media can be connected in the way that the media is presented. So media can do a very good job of honestly portraying people, but it can also portray people to match how the person videoing or the person writing wants that person to be viewed. So I think one of the keys to connecting the two is just honesty.
Media isn't just a glorification of a story. By sharing a story, by telling a story, we are to empower, encourage, and engage in relationship. Don't lose the person behind the story. If media is going to be partnered with evangelism, there are important things to consider when doing this.
When you're in a mission setting in a different country, you have to be real about it, and you just have to be smart about what you're filming, what your intentions are. We don't want to go and change their culture. And I think that's where a lot of Americans or Western people get it mixed up, is oh, we want to go make their lives better. We want to go give them everything we have, when that's not what they want.
Media through videos and writing can be very beneficial when it comes to evangelism. I just think it needs to be approached very carefully, because it's important when sharing the stories that we don't take away from that individual or their story. That in the story we're showing them as the person they are, and not just belittling them to oh, there's this person and this is their story, let's pity them. But instead being this is this incredible person and this is how God worked through them or worked through this story.
Who you're affecting when you do that, on who your viewers are, and then just who your subject is in general, because that person has a life and they have a story, and they have joy even if it doesn't look like it in a picture.
Through media, we can tell a story, share a hope, and show love. How can you empower, encourage, and engage in relationship with media? This is an opportunity for us to extend our voice across the world.